Go for it.
Okay, hello everyone. We are with episode 196 of the OnEBoard chat. Today I'm with Bob. Peggy won't be joining us. The topic of our presentation today, of our conversation, is how to create and deploy a web application with Gemini and Canvas. So, how to create and deploy a web app with no coding skills. I'm going to present a use case for about 10 minutes and then we are going to talk it over. Thank you for joining. All the documents from the presentation, the slide deck, also some charts, and also a comparison, pros and cons with other methods for creating such web applications will be documented on the news. As always, after our live stream, find it on the news on OnEBoard network. Please ask your questions in the comments below the video and we will answer them. So today I have created a brief presentation. You know, Google added the possibility for us to work with Gemini and Canvas, Gemini 2.5 Flash, which gives you the code ready for a blink of the eye. That's what I will present, a use case about creating and deploying a web application with no coding skills. It's a practical guide about a web application for a festival. It's an agricultural festival. I prompted Gemini to create a web application for visitors of the festival to subscribe for the current event and for the future updates. So I did 3 prompts. What's fascinating about me is my no coding approach was treated in such a manner that the technical parts were like errors. So I had authentication, code, the code segments were ready for me. Everything I did is in one conversation with Gemini and Canvas. From the start of the creation of the app till the final step and the ready code. Only 3 prompts. And that's so magical and so fast. And it's working. So for functionality of the application and components, it's a user interface where I gave the website. My purpose is to give the organizers a database of the subscribers on their own domain. That is povey.com. Povey is a non-profit organization. And the interface has the welcoming message. It immediately grabbed the design, the brand colors, the mission of the agricultural festival for sustainable agriculture and community engagement. And community engagement is on focus for the organizers and for my work as an administrator, because the visitors of this kind of agricultural philosophy, these are new generations. They don't have any social media presence. They don't go to Facebook. So I was very happy to understand they welcome the user interface, the experiences, to read details about the 6 previous events of the Alter Agro Festival. That's the name of the festival. And the final step is the subscription. The backend and integration is with Firebase. It's the deployment process I will follow on the next slide. It's initializing the storage for the subscribers, and the data is ready for automation procedures with following actions. You can also have a technical slide on the news blog when you visit the Roundup article to see from the developer perspective all the scripts, codes, protocols. It's on one slide with all the technicalities. For the purpose of this presentation, I'll skip the technical stuff to not scare our visitors and viewers. That's the application. You see how well it's designed to welcome the subscribers, to explain the basic details of the festival, and then you have the final form when they enter their name and email. The methodology is including Google Sites. That's because the nonprofit own domain is managed with Google Workspace for nonprofits at no cost. Everything is free. So embedding the code into Google Slides is absolutely easy. You have the embed code button. You just copy paste the code and publish it. So now comes the first Firebase authorized domains step. When you copy paste the ready code that is created with Gemini Canvas for 1 second, you get an error and you continue the prompt to ask Gemini, tell you you should exactly copy paste the name of the error to get the step-by-step guidance. You create the Firebase account for yourself and you set up the authorization. Here's the process on the slide. You see it's very easy. It's a standard process for authorizing domains by adding your own domain and sites, Google Sites. That's where the web application is actually running. Here how it looks on the Firebase console. Authentication, general settings, and that's where you add the sites on domain and click publish. So the next critical step is the deployment step with the Firebase configuration. It's again, I say the prompt is create, deploy, and get the final ready code. So the Firebase configuration is one of the technical steps where the error that occurs is because of the deployment environment. The placeholder variables are not working when it's ready. The ready project on the Firebase credentials is giving these errors for completing the subscription. And you follow the steps Gemini is giving you to set this in the project settings. You go to the configuration and get a ready code. You just click one button, that's all. There's one more rule from the technicality side, that's the security rule. When the subscribers are entering their name and email, that's authenticating them, and it is giving an error because you need to set up the security rule. It's again done into the Firebase console. You go to the store database and set up the rule that is Gemini is giving it to you like a segment. Again, one click. And that's it. You see when you go to the cloud, the data are stored for your own domain in Firebase. All those codes are the subscribers. When you see the arrows here, if you click it, you will see the email and name. I'm not opening it for. I don't want to expose users' data, but that's how it looks for inside the Firebase cloud. And now it's ready to be managed. We have two methods for the management of the data. It could be non-programmatic or programmatic. And from this step on is the developer's role for the organizers to see how they continue with automation. The fascinating augmentation of everything is that you can access a separate document I'm going to add to the roundup article where you can see the pros and cons of the methods I'm using for this web application compared to standard methods with forms everyone has been using. So my take is that this is your own data managed on your own domain. It's ready to be scaled. So as the festival grows and the user base is secure with Google Enterprise Security, that's what we get being on the Firebase console with Google for Work for nonprofits. It's going to be expanding the database with no worries for the organizers. And the charges up to now are free. Gemini said eventually in the Firebase console there would be costs in the future when the database becomes so big, but we can afford that for the future. So we don't know when we will reach any limits. So presumably when we have no cost, we can afford some costs in the future. So with this presentation of the use case for web application for subscribers for a festival, I wanted to demonstrate to you that you can resolve by yourself a simple task from the point A to the point B for a certain fixed time of a very fast time, just a few hours from start till the end. And you get a security database for your work, and it's efficient, it's collaborative, it's across devices and integrations, as you know, in the Google ecosystem. And this methodology can work with for creating and deploying of any web application. So work with Gemini and Canvas for no-coding solutions, effective, collaborative, scaled, and secure. Thank you for your attention. So that was my work. I hope it will serve some experiments for others to try and resolve similar situations when they need to set up databases with web applications. Do you have any questions, Bob?
Oh, no, that was really good, Nina. Nice and conversational. I think it will be a catalyst for, and again, it'll allow people to dip their toe in the water. You know, give it a try, you know, and that you might find out that it's not as scary as you imagine, and that what you come up with will be very effective and cost effective.
No, it wasn't scary. I wrote 400 lines of code and I deployed 2 more segments that were ready. That's all I did. It wasn't scary at all. Anytime there was an error, it was just a step to finalize the code. And I said I had 3 prompts. At the end, I asked Gemini, please write the complete code as should be. And it gave me the subscribers lists in the Firebase database. So
Wow.
yes, it's fantastic. It's like
So was the folks that ran that event? I'm guessing they were pretty happy about that.
yes, I got some good feedback, and I hope, because this is the start of a most dynamic event schedule for the organizers. I made it on time, so now we are sure to start to be like positive and say subscribe, because we know it's how it's done and it's secure. Is not just a piece of paper. You will see in the comparison, paper is existing in that comparison, and it's still a method to put the paper for people to write down their names so you can reach them for the next event. But also thing is Facebook has become a very toxic platform and young people are avoiding it. And if some of the event organizers are putting all their eggs into Facebook strategies, that's not sustainable for the future.
Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, not that I'm I'm part of a face of an organization, but I would think the less middlemen that you have, the better.
Exactly. And of course, I would be happy to receive more feedback as the subscribers increase. Some will say, I don't like this field. It's too big, subscription, it's not clickable. So maybe we customize a little bit the code. We'll see. I'm also happy there's a developer in the team of the organizers. So I have a direct reference from a developer, what's effective and what's not. Because we tried also some other approaches, but Gemini and Canvas work straightforward and very practically no faults, no. It was really like you say, jaw dropping.
Jaw dropping, yeah, that's right. Jaw dropping. No, that's way to go.
Yeah, so it runs on a site, but it's the domain. So this methodology can be used with any own domain.
Let me ask you this, Nina. Is this the first time you've ever tried something like this?
It's the first time. I'm
Okay.
not coding, so when I see code, I just forget it and look for some other ways to complete my tasks or tasks for my clients, or just make an agreement with a developer.
So let me ask you this as a follow-up. How did you discover the Gemini Canvas connection?
Well, Google rolled out Gemini a few months ago when in our tech topic, 3 tips in 10 minutes, I showed how to compile content as a first step to a web application. That's how because it's Google rolled out this option for everyone. It's the biggest revolution to give professionals the opportunity to code without coding skills. I never imagined could be within the work account with Google Workspace. Yes, we are paying higher taxes, but having an agreement with a developer is much more expensive, and it takes a lot of time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yes, for simple tasks, I'm with 2 hands support trying Gemini and Canvas for completing tasks that are directly within the professional's priorities. Is nothing scary.
And you know, folks, for you folks that are watching, I would encourage you to access the PDF that Nina put together that actually gives you a comparison between using Gemini Canvas versus other forms of applications. And I think that if you were to read that, that would really clarify, you know, how you should go forward with your own forms or database work. I mean, I think it's just a thing of beauty. In fact, it's something that really everybody should have when no matter what application you're using, how does it fit in the entire ecosystem, so to speak? How does it work with other things? And, you know, is it easy? You know, again, that's it.
That's
right?
what Bobby speaking. I was checking if it's publicly available, but I'll download it as a PDF so you can see the pros and cons with the web app with Firebase. Then there's all the forms, Microsoft Forms and other builders. Then you have the email lists, landing pages, MailChimp, the manual methods, and you get some conclusions to think it over. So it's nice to evaluate. It's the slide when the chart says pros and cons. For different use cases and different processes, some aspects are more important than others. So it's an individual choice to take a decision which one would be. There are also event platforms, but there it's fast, it's intuitive, but the data is not exactly yours. So it's the organizer and owner of the event to reconsider what is the weight, of course. I always think, as you, Bob, that middlemen are not good for databases. So having the Firebase with your own domain is something to consider.
Right. In fact, you're building on that. It's a future-based work, and I can't say enough about that what you put together there, Nina, because that is the most important thing. No matter what you're doing, is to get an idea of, you know, the tool that you're using and how does it fit into what you're trying to create. Are there better tools, or does it plug in with other tools? And again, you've already done all the hard work. You've gone through and you've actually explained why this is good and maybe not so good. And
Yeah, and
it's a real
it
service.
also, yeah, it's a very nice comparison, and as you say, Bob, it's specific on the owner of the event, because with the agricultural festival, initially it was for a very small group of enthusiasts 6 years ago. It was not so popular to grow your own food in new methods that are ecologically friendly to nature, but now everyone is interested. So it's changed to a new philosophy for the generation. So it's something to consider, who is visiting the festival and what else can be accomplished faster, because it's everyone's interest. So it depends on the perspectives and goals of each event. Some events are just PR, they don't put too much weight on who's present, they just want to show up. That's different strategy. So it's nice to use methods and strategies in an efficient way in corresponding methods. Okay. So I have not monitored the live today. I hope Peggy will be back next week, and we are having 3 tips in 10 minutes on the 27th of July. Please come again, be with us to hear our what we are giving away from the week ahead. That's releasing new updates every day. Thank you for watching.
Have a good day, everybody.